while ago, I got a question about the sensitivity of our dog's paws, the tactile sensitivity, and specifically the sensitivity in wet conditions. And I thought I'd share my thoughts and my ideas with you through this video. So here we go. And to start off, I'm going to take you back to quite a few years ago, when I was still jogging regularly. And then I had transitioned to using minimalist footwear. And later on, I also transitioned to running barefoot. So on one of those days, when I was going for a barefoot run, I had decided to just go for a short, easy run on smooth surface. It was a bicycle path, which was smooth tar, easy and soft. The only difference was, to my previous runs, was that now it was going to be wet. It wasn't raining, it had rained, and now it was wet. And to my surprise, this changed so much about my run. For some reason, I seemed to be getting so much more tactile information. And it was not just about now it felt colder. Yes, it did, but that you get used to, and quite quickly actually. But it was a tactile information. There was so much more of it. There was so much more of it that my muscles also got so much more feedback and were contracting so much stronger. It was like they were really wired with so much energy. Although I was not really supposed to be running really fast, and I wasn't. So this was really odd. And disappointingly, for a really short and easy run, my muscles had been contracting so much and I could feel that more muscles were contracting as well, and more muscle fibers were contracting because they got so much more information and they were working so much better in coordination. That's how it felt. But the next day I was so sore from such a short run, it was really disappointing. But anyway, this got me thinking. And this story, which actually happened, is the start of me considering sensory integration in behavioral issues and in physical issues, and also in the behavior adjustment plan and in the physical therapy plan. Because at that moment, I knew one doggy who was called or said to be Princessy-like, because whenever it was wet, whenever the grass was wet, she wouldn't go in the grass because she was so Princessy-like, we thought. But of course, this experience put all of that in a different light. And I started thinking, now why would she, as a dog who has been running barefoot, barepod, all her life, why would she have an issue with getting extra information? For me, it was logical, okay? I was just transitioning. It was my first barefoot run on a wet surface. I would surely grow used to it. Why wasn't she used to it? Why was this something that was still too much for her? And why couldn't she deal with it? And why are there several dogs, many dogs, that don't like to go out on wet surface? Raining might still be something different because maybe they have short hair, maybe they get really, really cold. But why the wet surface? So I looked into why do we humans and when do we humans get oversensitive or hypersensitive to tactile stimuli. And quite often it is because there is actually an underlying problem. For wet grass, it could be, or wet surfaces, it could be that the problem is actually in the change of temperature. So then there might maybe be, the individual might have a difficulty in maintaining his body temperature, like possibly in thyroid issues. But as I said, for me, it was purely tactile. I got so much more information. When do we humans know that we are more sensitive to tactile input? Is when, for instance, your shoulder is hurting, and it has been hurting for quite a while, a few weeks, let's say, and now someone is touching your elbow, and you really can't stand it. You want them to stay away from this arm because everything feels so extra sensitive. Okay, that's because there is actually a pain issue going on, and that changes how quickly an impulse becomes too much in your perception. So it changes how some tactile information is perceived and how it is processed, because there is a chronic problem, a chronic pain problem going on. I have seen these issues as well with dogs that have chronic digestive problems. So any type of pain, any type of physical problem might possibly lead to the symptom of hyperesthesia, hyperalgesia, maybe allodynia. So all those problems that have to do with a change in your perception of a tactile input. So I was really grateful for that experience, because first of all, it helped me to consider sensory integration for dogs. And secondly, or maybe that's the same point, it helped me to see this princess behavior as a possible symptom. And now I know that when I hear this from my clients, there's a warning light flashing in the back of my brain saying, like, watch out, maybe there are several symptoms that need a vet referral. So just for you to consider, if you see dogs that have a problem with wet surfaces, it might be that their sensitivity to tactile information has changed. And it is worth questioning why that has changed or why it is so sensitive. Anyway, just my thoughts, and because sharing is caring, I'm sharing. Bye.